1 minute to go, 3 timeouts. Jake Fromm at the helm on the 20-yard line, thereabouts. Hand off to Swift. Going nowhere inbounds. Georgia might call a timeout right here. What are we doing? I don't know why we're not taking a timeout. I'm a little bit behind y'all, so don't say anything. I'm not gonna look at the camera until after we get. What are we doing? We got 3 timeouts. We had a minute on the clock. Are we just gonna take one big shot here at the end? What the hell are we doing? Oh, he almost threw a damn interception. Good night. I know you guys are there, but I'm not looking at the screen because somebody will put something in chat. So we had a man beat on the outside, but we missed it. I don't know what we were trying to do right there. That was crazy. All right, 13 seconds and all 3 timeouts. Go Dogs. Why are we running the ball? Oh my goodness, we're just gonna run the clock out. And Alabama calls the timeout. Poor clock management again.
Say not today, Saban.
Not today, Saban. That's pretty good. All right. They are a second half team and need to come out hungry and pissed. Well, both teams do really well in the second half, so it's hard to say. I'm gonna back up and look at the chat here. What's up, Hatchet? What's up, Eric? What's up, Mary? Let's go, Dogs. Looks like finna go into halftime here. Hopefully up by 17. That was a pretty good half. We definitely made some mistakes. They definitely made some mistakes. We did a pretty good job of getting after Tua initially. Dogs have come out very hungry, so Kylie, can you please move, darling? You can only put about 2 pounds of ranch on that one little celery stick there, honey. We'll get you a shovel if you want some more. That's gross. So Georgia called a timeout. So Georgia lined up. Mary, you at the game? Hot dog. You go, girl. Georgia just called a timeout because we wanted to see what they were going to line up with. More Swift and some deep throws. I agree. We were doing a really good job picking them off across the middle. I kind of called it that we were going to be throwing to people that we hadn't really been throwing to all year. And we started throwing to, I think our touchdown pass was to Isaac Nauta. So, I mean, you can't complain about that. Sorry, I had to have some of my tasty beverage. So Mary's at the game. Anybody else on here on the game at the game? I got a lot of friends that went. We need to stay. Yeah, we need to stay on that pineapple. I agree. 4th and 11. Georgia's got to do a really good job here managing this so they don't run it back.
Okay, go.
He got that one away well. Let's see. Ball goes out. Well, burn up the clock, so that's good. We'll take that. Georgia going in at the half, 21-14. It seems like the only time that Alabama was able to score was whenever they started out with a really good field position. If they had to run the length of the field, we were able to stop them. So, yeah, Bama ain't seen a D all year. We're getting him with a 4-man rush. We are trying, but what we need to do is we need to dial that up and have that Mike linebacker have one of those strong or weak side linebackers get in there and help out, because there's been several times that one of those guys could have got back there. Tua obviously injured that ankle. I know they went in there and they probably gave him a B12 shot and wrapped him up with tape and stuck him back out there. But if you've noticed, they haven't let him stay in there and really throw the ball. They've been running it at us. So we need to make an adjustment and load the box and get that to stop. They've obviously got some weaknesses. Yeah, Saban's frustrated. We got to stop the run, though. Yeah, we absolutely got to stop the run. If we don't stop the run, I mean, they're just going to continue to run the ball at us. If we can get up 2 scores, it's going to be real difficult for them to overcome that because Georgia's doing an outstanding job of hanging on to the ball. Yeah, that one long run, man, really hurt us, RJ. You're right. What?
Your brother asked you to shut down about 15 minutes.
Oh. Alex said, roll tide. Hey, you have to stop them on 3rd, yeah. We're looking pretty good, doing pretty good. There was a couple of drives there where I think we only had 1 third down. There was a drive where we had no 3rd downs. So we obviously are making some adjustments and figuring it out as we go. I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited to see what we've got. Keep in mind that, you know, both of these teams can do. What's up, Jill? Jill says roll tide. Vol Rises said go Vols. Alex Hardage. I don't know where roll tide came from. I don't know. Cheney coming through with good play calling. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised at how well Cheney's doing on the play calling. He seems to be doing a pretty good job of making the adjustments as we go along. It's definitely been interesting so far. I really started out pretty nervous, and it's definitely been a case where we've been able to get pressure on the 2 and it's made it difficult for him. Justin Fields' liability in this game, his playing is scary. Not just rocks. You're right. Him playing in the game can be a little bit scary, but what that does is it forces Alabama's coaching staff to deal with the plays that they've seen him use all year. So if we put him in and we give them the same look that they've seen, but we throw to a different receiver or we hand it off to a different person, it makes Alabama continue to have to adjust. So that's one of the things the coaching staff is looking at and having to do throughout the game. Dr. Pepper Challenge. So let's see. And make no mistake, it's you put Justin Fields in there, there's a possibility that he can take it to the house. There's a possibility that he can sling the ball downfield. So what it does is it continues to keep the offense and the defense off balance. So when they're having to accommodate for 2 different types of quarterbacks, they're having to constantly adjust. And you want that because eventually they're going to make a mistake and you can bust loose for a big play. We've dropped the ball a couple of times. Tua's made more thrown the ball more times today where we've seen drops than you've ever really seen from him, and I think it's because we're getting pressure on him. We got to continue to pressure him. We got to find a way to get more pressure on him. We got to find a way to continue to run the ball. From on that pass made me have a heart attack, dude. There's been several passes. I thought I was going to see. I thought I was going to have to go see a cardiologist, man. It's just been, it's been a ride. I don't think anybody, and including Vegas, picked Georgia to be winning at the half, but Alabama's definitely a second half team, so Georgia's also a second half team. So this is the part where things get really difficult because we're so used to seeing both of our teams throttle back because they're usually up by quite a few scores. I will say that this is it's going to be close. This is the most that all season, and I think all of last year, if I'm not mistaken, that Alabama's trailed on the scoreboard. So that's probably a unique and different feeling for their players to look at that scoreboard and see, look up that scoreboard and see that they're trailing. That's probably a unique sensation. I expect Bama to come out and score a touchdown. That's possible. I mean, it's also possible that Georgia goes in, makes the adjustments that we've been seeing at the half, and stop them. At least the dogs are getting to the quarterback. Yeah. Well, Mary, if you happen to have watched one of my other videos, my previous video of this, I said that I thought that was going to be the case. I thought that Georgia was going to be able to get after the quarterback just like we did last season whenever we were playing the Heisman winner, which was Baker Mayfield, and we were able to sack him quite a bit. Bama plays better in the second half, so I got to give it to Bama. Bama does play better in the second half, but Georgia's always been up by so many points it didn't really have to. So it's hard to say whether or not Georgia has the capability to do so. LeCount with a huge play, a couple of huge plays. And if Georgia continues to play like that, things like that are very demoralizing, especially to a team that's used to winning. When those players get in those situations, the one-off where they get that first interception or they get that first whatever, it really kind of peps them up and it excites them and they really want to get after it and improve off of that. But after it happens a couple of 3 times, they get so aggressive that they start to make more mistakes and make mental mistakes. And that's any team. That's Georgia or anybody else. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's something that can happen to anybody. Tua's ankle's bothering him, and you can definitely tell. Yeah, and as the game continues to go on, Georgia's going to continue to stay after Tua. You know, obviously it's not our intention to injure him, but if we continue to stay after him, he gets tagged a couple more times, and that ankle goes to hurting. You know, it's possible that could really turn the tables. Hopefully Fields will do good. I'm not worried about Justin Fields. I'm really not. I mean, I know he's not the game maker that Fromm is. And I noticed on one of the plays earlier, to prove my point, I noticed on one of the plays earlier where Fromm saw something. He saw a look, and he went up and he changed the play because he knew there was going to be a blitz play, and he went to a screen pass to Warner. That just tells you the kind of – and if you're not looking for that, you don't know that it's there. But that's the kind of – that's the kind of stuff that makes him the athlete, that makes him a game manager, an athlete, and a great quarterback that you can't see through athleticism. We got to stop the run. Yeah, we got to do a better job of stopping that. I say put Anderson as a spy match on his speed. You could do that. Bama receivers made so many mistakes. Will that happen in the second half, though? OJ, that's hard to say. Is it that the receivers are making the mistakes, or is it that the Tua is throwing the ball behind them or short, and they're having to adjust, which they're not used to doing? They're used to the ball being on point, so they can just reach out there and grab it. Yeah, it's hard to say. Georgia stopping the next half. Georgia's going to score. They going home with the natty. Georgia's saying, I hope so. This is going to be a good one. Georgia's in it to win it. If Georgia's offense lines hold up, that is the key. Roll Tide. Yeah, both teams have had wide open drops. There's been a couple of times that I haven't seen Georgia throw downfield, and I think that may be something that we're holding for the second half. Bama fans are shocked they're actually down. I don't know that they're necessarily shocked. I think, you know, some of their fans are shocked, but I think those that are being realistic knew this was going to be a tight game. And it's only a 7-point game, so it's still anybody's game. Both teams are playing well. Injuries seem to be rather limited, which is good for either team. It's good for the players. The referees seem to be kind of even, so I can't really complain too much about that. All right, Mary, thanks for tuning in. I'll make sure I mention you in the next video. The real fans knew it would be a good game. Absolutely. I mean, real fans, if you watch them, you knew. Bama can match the run game, and then the receivers get to, man, it's coming in. The receivers usually goes the distance with Bama. Yeah, if we can get our receivers on point, some of our guys make some great catches, we can definitely pull out the win here. Jill says she's not shocked. She's obviously a smart fan. Tua is not comfortable throwing on that ankle. You can bet you're behind there working on an ankle right now in that locker room, so you don't know what's going to happen after the half there, Southern Buck. I don't want to see the guy injured, but I do want to win the game. But I can tell you they got a world-class medical staff in there. Bama's big guard is hurt. Yeah, they have one of their big guys is hurt. He may come in after the half, but he is hurt. One of the players that was suspended for targeting will be back after the half, so who I don't know what that guy's going to do. Yeah, not shocked at all, just a little disappointed. Who said that? Scroll down in the play, but still, yep, 30 minutes to go. I agree. Notre Dame fan will be mad if we win. They'll be left out. I don't think they're going to leave those guys out. I wish they would, though. I think if you don't at least play in a division championship, you don't get in. Nonetheless, it's a great game, man. Great job for Georgia. Can't wait for the second half. I agree with that. This has been an amazing game. A couple of face mask missed on Bama. Yeah, but that goes both ways all the time. I actually hate it when they call those because it happens all the time. Face mask and holding happen all the time. And to me, unless it's something extremely something extremely obvious, I hate, or impacts the play, I don't think they should call it. Holyfield needs more carries. Yep, they got to keep mixing it up between him and Swift. Alabama will come back and dominate. I doubt dominate is the word I would use, Zach. If they come back and win, it'll be close. Just keep the hammer down and keep chopping. That's right. If we win, it'll either the 2 or 3 seed, and we'll play them. I think if Notre Dame's going to stay where they're at because they didn't lose. Clemson's probably going to go to number 1 because they're undefeated. Georgia will probably go to number 3. Bama go to number 4. That'd be my guess. Wondering what Coach Smart's saying to them. Right now, he's saying to them that here's the adjustments we're going to make. Here's the stuff that we need to do. And he's also telling them that, we played hard in the first half. Now you've got to play even harder. He's probably reminding them about last year's game. And as much as they may say in the press conference that it's not about a revenge fighter, it's definitely a revenge fighter.
No. They were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely a revenge fighter. Can you explain Bama's last touchdown and how that was a touchdown? Malik, I can explain that in two ways. Number one, if you watch that, the moment that he is laying flat at his back and he has that ball between his hands and it's not twisting or moving, you can see that he does have possession. As much as I hate to admit it, and I wanted that to be a Georgia turnover, that is definitely, it was a touchdown. I don't want to admit it, but it was. Alabama has the momentum. It's back and forth. Momentum's a strong. It's just back and forth right now. I will say that, getting an interception on Tua definitely hurt him a little bit. Wrapping him up, tackling him, sacking him a couple of times has hurt his pride a little bit. Smart's definitely coach of the year. I mean, he's brought us back-to-back to the SEC championship game, so can't say he's not an amazing coach. Love that guy. All right, so who's got questions? Throw them at me. Nobody, huh? I got 61 people here. Nobody's got a question. Got to get that gap covered. Yeah, we got to cover it in the middle of the field. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell you that I absolutely about had a heart attack when I saw DeAndre Baker on the turf grabbing his leg. Oh, no, not DeAndre. Anybody but DeAndre on defense. Not that guy. I don't know that we'll get a second half surge. I think that Tram says like this video, folks. I agree with that. You can like the video. I approve of that message. Jalen will do what Tua did from last year. I don't know. Jalen's not the sharpshooter that Tua is. Tua is amazing. Will Fromm throw more? I think that Georgia's going to continue to play the football the way they've been playing it until Alabama makes us play different. Take away the big play, the pineapple chokes. Oh, God, the pineapple jokes are everywhere. What adjustment do you think we will make in the half? I think we've got to cover up the middle. We've got to find a way to stop the run, and we've got to continue to get after Tua. That's what we need to do is Bulldog Brett, stand up, dude. What do you mean, Brian? Oh, boy. Georgia has to stay aggressive in the second half. We have to get more aggressive in the second half. The safety for Bama keep coming down, go deep. I agree with that. I'm going to SawCon. I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up. I'm nervous. I've seen UGA lose to Bama many times. You're right, Siren. I have seen UGA lose to Bama many times. It's always a good game when Georgia plays Alabama. And one of the things that I will tell you is that it's the law of averages. At some point, you got to lose. At some point, if you're Alabama, you got to lose. And this is probably the best team they're going to play all year. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that thumbs up. It's down here somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it's down there somewhere. Hit that for me. It helps the meta metrics and pushes the video around to a bunch of other people. And I get a bunch of complaints down in the comment section, but it helps out. Thanks, guys. Music voices sock on these nuts. That's pretty good, man. You got me on that one. You baited me right in. That's pretty good. So, I'm gonna steal that, by the way. I'm gonna use that on some people. Oh man, that's hilarious. Good one. Brett the Hitman Hart. I've been called worse. I've been called Brett Favre. I've been called Brett the Hitman Hart. I've been called Brett Maverick. All kind of stuff. I get called Brettita because we have a friend whose name is Brett, and then because my name has two T's and his name has one, we used to hang out together. They would say Brett, and we'd both go, "What's going on?" And I'd look over there, and they'd say, "No, I was talking to Brett." I was like, "Well, you said me." And they said, "No, if I was talking to you, I would have called you Brettita because your name has two T's." So a lot of people that know me call me Brettita. I don't know why. But it stuck. It's been years I've had that. Put some respect on Georgia's name, playoff Birdman boy. Birdman boy. Georgia can absolutely win this game. Like I said, this is the most that they've trailed all season, if not all of this season and last season. So they're probably making some adjustments in there. They're going to probably try to continue to run the ball. Georgia's got to find a way to stop that run. Their running backs are just as fast as ours. They're just as fast as our secondary. So hawking those guys down like we typically do the lesser teams is just not an option. So we've got to stop them at the line. And that really falls on the middle linebackers to do that job. My wife's teaching our son how to say "go dogs." We need drives like the touchdown drive where we took 8 minutes off the clock and scored like that. Yeah. I don't know that that's our only hope. Swift's going to break one open soon. Probably. He's due. Swift is too good. Swift's excellent. Fromm is excellent. Rice is still hurt. I would love to see Monte Rice in there. He's an outstanding linebacker, but he would definitely be back next year for sure. So, keep in mind, Georgia's got every school has 85 scholarships that they can put out. 85. Georgia has 64 scholarships on true freshmen. So that ought to tell you, will Nada and Warner be more active in the passing game? Rashad, I would probably tell you, yeah, they're going to be out there, and they may be out there as distractions. So what we're doing right now is we're kind of playing a game of guess who we're going to go with the ball to. Because when they know who the ball is going to go to, they can key up on them. They do a really good job of that. But if you're not, it's the third catch all season that Warner had, and then went back to back to him. So that was a strategic play call that Chaney put in place. Swift about to fumble like Ernest Burner and fumble puppy. Dennis, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, man. I think that Georgia's doing a really good job of not making careless mistakes. We made that one careless mistake down at the goal line when we didn't catch that ball or fair catch and bring it out to the 25. I guarantee you that conversation's had, and that won't happen again this game. CBS News special report. So they're gonna jump in at halftime to tell you that George Bush died at the age of 94. Everybody knows that. We knew that this morning. Tua's not throwing to Jerry Jeudy. I think he has, or he's had plays where he was going to throw to Jerry Jeudy, and we got pressure on him, and it made it difficult for him to get the ball down there. UGA needs to keep running the ball and controlling the clock. Yep, we need to keep playing our own version of keep away. The hand in the face. There's been several hands in the face and I hate that call. I really hate that call because it happens all the time. So to me, when I see a holding call, unless it's completely flagrant, you should never call that call because it happens so often. What's up, Tyler? I mean, it just happens all the time, so it's kind of a BS call in my opinion. I will say that there was one time whenever they had a Georgia receiver by the jersey, they didn't call that, and the referee standing right there, and I was like, man, I don't know how you could call pass interference on that, but it is what it is. Poor Kirby Smart, another Mercedes-Benz. Dennis, you salty, man, and the game ain't even over yet. Doggone, man. We get held a lot. That happens every time you play. It's just that everybody now has HD TV, so you can see it. We're doing a pretty good job of catching the ball. Well, we got to continue to catch the ball. You're probably going to see the play calling shift. Georgia was picking apart. What's up, Censored 2? Georgia was picking apart Alabama's corners. So I think that's going to continue to happen. I don't really think they have an answer for that. But we don't want to do that unless we have to, because we don't want to turn around and give the ball back to them. We want to control the clock and run the clock down as quick and as hard as fast as we can. So, got to stop the run. Man, we got to stop the run. If we don't stop the run, we're in trouble. So, well, guys, I'm going to take a minute here between now and when they kick the ball off, and I'm going to grab myself another tasty beverage, and we'll see you guys after the game. Y'all show up now. Have a good one. God bless. Go Dogs.